Hello and welcome all the way from Indiana, USA. We're traveling through the interwebs to Germany today again, like we do every day. I mean, that's what this channel is. I'm Ryan. I react to stuff from Germany. You know that, maybe you don't. 4 things Americans always get wrong about Germany. Let's see if I get all 4 things wrong. You know, hopefully I can get ahead of it, see what she's talking about and try and guess. But it's Haley Alexis, one of the absolute queens of German YouTube. Go check her out if you haven't.
I'm like, this makes no sense, because in the United States, people make fun of station wagons. And in Germany, it's like, boah, geil, hast du mein Kombi gesehen? And I'm just like...
Yeah, in the US, you might even punch your friend if you see a station wagon, especially if it's got wood on the side. You punch them. You call out a woody. They're not well regarded.
Hi everyone, what is up? My name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do.
Oh, I know.
You guys, what's up? So in today's video, y'all, I'm going to be talking about 4 things Americans always get wrong about Germany or Germans. Now, I've made a few videos like this before on my channel, talking about both sides. Things that Germans get wrong about Americans all the time, and things that Americans get wrong about Germans all the time. But I have 4 new points that I feel like are quite interesting. Hopefully they are. There might be discussion.
Good. We're going in deep today. These aren't the obvious points that everybody thinks.
In there as well. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up.
I almost did forget.
Now, when
Thank you.
it comes to Germany, you guys, I am pretty protective, and usually I gotta put on my kitty cat claws when I go to the United States and people find out that I'm from Germany, and
they're talking crap about Germany,
and they ask me or bombard me with information that is maybe ill-informed, misconstrued, or
you don't eat beer cheese with pretzels,
or just lacking I don't even know, lacking intelligence altogether. So the first one is going to be the German language and pronunciation.
I took that personally.
Something that really irks my nerves, and I've talked about this a little bit before, is when people say German is a hard language, but they've never tried to study the language. I mean, the language is hard. 1000% it is very difficult, but I dislike...
Every language is difficult to me.
But
if you watch that one video where I took a quiz for the first time ever, trying to see if I knew any German words, even though I don't, I think I got a 75% on that quiz, which is just remarkable. So apparently German is, somewhat intuitive.
When people make fun of the language and they don't have any understanding of what they're talking about. I feel like before I came to Germany, I was maybe like,
don't you dare make fun of Germany or German, the language, in my presence, okay?
this, and I feel like it's just growth. Like, it takes time for you to understand something, and then you're like, oh, I was like that before. I'm so glad I've grown and matured. But a lot of Americans are like this. They have no idea about the German language, and they maybe make fun of it, or they say, oh, this is how you say this in German language, and I'm like, that's not correct at all. And the thing about this point that maybe bothers me the most is when people say something about the German language or are pronouncing it wrong and then make fun of it.
I mean, it's probably because I'm not from Germany, so I'm not going around talking about, I do now that I make these videos, I talk about Germany a lot, but I haven't run into anybody yet to make fun of Germany.
Based on their
if I do,
wrong pronunciation or their wrong understanding of the German language. And I'm just like, don't do that. At the end of the day, when you are learning a new language or you're curious about a new language, you have to be open, I would say, to the different pronunciations, the different words, the different combinations, the vocabulary, alphabet, and all that good stuff, and not...
I find it fascinating.
Automatically equate to making fun of it. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people do, especially when they don't...
No, when I go, I just think it's funny because I'm so bad at it.
know that much about something.
Switch a...
The first attack or the first line of defense is humor. But for me, like the German language, I make fun of it sometimes. I feel like I can, though, because I understand it, not professionally, not fluently, but I do know it to an extent that I can make jokes and crack jokes about it. But I feel...
It's going to be a long time before I'm fluent, so
Real people that don't have any understanding about the German language,
I'll try to hold off on the jokes.
German culture, anything like that, and then make fun of it and then pronounce stuff wrong and always want to put that in my face. This is something that Americans like to do. It's like, oh, I know how to say this or that, and then they say it completely wrong with a completely fake German accent, and I'm like, this isn't funny. The next point is going to be a
I would think that is kind of funny, like how stupid it is.
controversial point, you guys, and this is something that I've gotten into many heated debates with people in the United States about, you guys, and I get into heated debates on my YouTube channel about this as well, and it's people asking me about the refugee crisis. I don't know if I've talked about this on my channel before, you guys.
I feel like that's so 2018 or something, you know, like.
And I'm not really gonna go into a deep dive here on this YouTube channel, but something that Americans always get wrong, or they always ask me about, and there's always this ill intention behind it, is like, are you walking with the refugees on the street, Haley?
It is an interesting subject, I will say, because here in the States, all the news channels are super, you know, partisan, and you never know what's true and what's not. And so you hear about these refugee crises and stuff in Europe, and it's like, you know, the crime has gone up 7,000%. That
Are you
it doesn't seem to be true to me when I look at the videos.
walking with the refugees on the street, Haley? Do they go into the store with you? Are there refugees in the store with you? And I'm just like, they're just like immigrants in the United
At the end of the day, I'm technically an immigrant, so I guess this hits a little closer to home because I choose to live in the country. Oh, yeah, makes sense.
States. Of course they're gonna be on the street with me, walking on the street with me, and in the store with me. Yeah, but in the United States, one of the big, I guess, Germany topics from 2015 to even going into 2018 was talking about the economic refugee crisis in Germany. And people only had that information. It's very hard to get information
that's kind
from
of,
other sources.
I haven't heard about that in a while.
When you are based in the United States and we have privatized media just pushing out their image of what they want into the world, into the United States. And so they only had what was given to them. When I tell people stories about me working with refugees in Germany, not having any bad experiences, having generally positive experiences with the people that I worked with or came into contact with, they can't believe it. They can't believe that I was actually in the same spot as a refugee and living life and being fine.
So are they that prevalent that pretty much anywhere you go? I'm not understanding. She's saying, yes, she does walk into the store. Yes, she has worked with them. So I guess they are pretty prevalent, the refugees. Maybe they've assimilated into the culture more now and like you don't even know. Well, I guess it hasn't been that long.
This is something that I hate talking about to Americans because they haven't been here. And I always think to myself, I always want to pose the question of, how are refugees supposed to live? Are they supposed to be locked in cages at the border like in the United States? Ooh. Or should they be trying to live life, a normal, regular life like everyone else in the country? And also a sub point for this, and it's always Americans, and I understand why it's Americans, and I try to be understanding because of our concept when it comes to race. But when I talk about brown people or black people in Germany,
sensitive subjects here,
people automatically assume that they're immigrants. And they're like, yeah, but they're not really German. And I'm like, oh no, they're German. They are German. And they're like, no, but they're not German. And I'm just like, what do you mean? They were born in Germany. They have a German passport. They have been brought up in the German system. They are German. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys, but I feel like this is a different topic for a different video, but it's very interesting to see this playing out, especially now since I've lived in Germany and my ideas about like race, ethnicity, and all of these things have become jumbled together and mixed and are very different than, let's say, 5 years ago. And it's very interesting to hear Americans talk about race, especially when my views have changed so drastically. But this is something that, you know, Americans always get wrong when it comes to Germany. Refugees, immigrants,
I don't know what I just did. What was my computer doing? I don't know.
Black people in Germany, they can't be German. And so the next point, you guys, is going to be something that I feel like continuing. mostly talked about on my channel, and it's that Germany taxes everyone 70%, 90%, 100% of their income. And this is something that I've seen
100%.
in the
Thanks for working for the German government. You're our slave now. We're taking all your money.
government officials in the United States do when talking about socialism, communism, tax rates, trying to stop raising tax rates and trying to use this as a counterpoint. Like, look at Germany. Look at the people over there. They're paying 90% of their income. They're paying 70% of their taxes, and their income is going towards the government.
What are the... I mean, I think Americans think that about all of Europe, not just Germany. 62%. No, that's the take-home pay. So 37 average worker. Doesn't seem that much different than the USA. German tax brackets. Okay, here we go, maybe. Why is this like 200 euros, or is this 270,000? It must be. So 14 to 42, why is this a range? But okay. 42%. It doesn't seem that much different, to be honest, than America. In America, I feel like, you know, typical tax rate is like 30%. I guess it's a little higher, huh? It would depend on if there's like local taxes and stuff too. You know, we have the federal tax, the state tax, the local tax, whatever.
And oh my gosh, those people have no money. Now, granted, Germany's tax rate might be decent, might be hefty, might be high. I could even say that it could be high. But when you factor
That's a funny way to say a high tax rate. You know, we have a decent tax rate here. It's pretty high.
in other things like
pretty decent.
401k, I think pensions, maybe we can throw it in there, homeowners insurance, federal tax, state tax, county tax, I'm trying to think, daycare, all of these other things that
Yeah, the amount of amenities you get.
are maybe not as high in Germany as they are in the United States, or even virtually non-existent in Germany. You're usually looking at the same amount of money. So granted, Germans may be taxed 50%, let's say, but they don't have such high bills like you do in the United States for certain things.
Yeah, and that makes sense because when the state provides it, now you have to be careful, obviously, and Germany is. It's not like Germany is communist in any way, but when the state provides the service, then it's non-profit, you know? So in theory, it should be cheaper. Now, the state can also be inefficient. Like here in the US, I feel like that's our biggest problem. The Germans are very efficient people. The US government is a bunch of bloated crap. So it really is kind of like a decision what you want them to be running. I think that makes it a little bit different.
And so over the years, I think comparing both of these places, it's really hard for people to hear that at the end of the day, you're going to be spending the same amount of money, and in some places you might be getting a little bit more, but in other places you might be getting a little bit more or less. Like in Germany, you're going to get healthcare, you're going to get school, you're going
That's
to
a
get
big
these
one.
types of things. And
Both
in the
of those.
United States, you're going to have to pay a shit ton of money for daycare. And so at the end of the day,
Daycare's like $1,000 a month.
it's something that I hate arguing about, because we could always go back and forth and find this and that and this money and that money, and it makes no sense because they're totally different societies and totally different economies and totally different types of people that live in each
It's still fun to talk about it
place.
back and
Each
forth,
place
you know?
has its
I mean, she's right. It's totally different. So it's like I just said about how your government might be a little bit more efficient. So it's like, yeah, you want them doing
pros and
more
cons.
stuff.
And when I get into the tax aspect of it, it's always like very superficial and like surface level. And I'm like, you have to dig a little deeper and you have to be able to think outside of the box when it comes to this end number and what you're getting out of it. And also in the United States, what you're not getting out of your end number, because you're also paying taxes in the United States. The last and final point, you guys,
I feel like for the amount of taxes we pay, we get much less.
and we're going to finish with a funny point, because I feel like the last 2 points have caused me a little heart heart problems, y'all. This one is going to be that Germans love their sport cars. Now, this is very true. I mean, where are you going to be driving that you're going to have a Porsche, that you're going to have a Mercedes, that you're going to have a
Mercedes.
BMW and Audi driving just consistently, constantly past you on the highway? Not in the
I was just so confused because she called it a BMV.
driving just consistently.
That's how the W is pronounced, huh? V. I like forgot that because here that's like where you go to the BMV to register your vehicle, so it's a little confusing.
Past you on the highway. Not in the United States. You're going to have the 1990, 1980 Toyota Corolla with a hubcap missing. The window taped
That's pretty
with,
typical.
what is it called? A garbage can
That was my car.
going down
10 years
I-75, 20 miles under the speed limit because the car can't go any faster. I understand why people think this, and it is true to an extent, but I feel like one of the most popular cars in Germany is a Kombi. And if you're an American, you're probably wondering what a Kombi is because you've probably never heard this before, and you've also probably never seen this before in the United States because it's very
I was about to look
rare.
it up.
It is, let me see if I know what the word is, a Kombinationskraftwagen. Now,
Kraft's mac and cheese? No, that's not it. Kraft's wagon. What on
better
earth?
known in English American terms as a station wagon. Now, when I first got to Germany, y'all,
yeah.
I was shocked. I felt like I was transported into a National Lampoon's movie scene.
There she is. Where? Right here, the wagon.
I have never seen station wagons before in my life since living
Oh
in
man, it's been forever.
Germany. I mean, when I was younger, in the 90s, they were maybe still trucking. You know, people had them from the 70s or 80s.
It's so
And
rare.
they were still pushing. But now, 2022, just not something you will see.
I don't think kids would even know what that is, like teenagers.
And so I feel like Europe,
station
more
wagon.
specifically Germany, is one of the only markets that keeps station wagons alive.
They look somewhat practical, you know, I must say. They do look a combi. They do look quite practical. Now, I haven't even seen a more modern version like this. This looks like a minivan that's been stepped on by King Kong. This is more typical of what I think of station wagon, you know. You can't argue with the convenience. You know, it looks similar to like a hatchback Corolla. You know, let's say like it's really, let's be honest, it's not that much different than this. In America, this is extremely common. These are like the most common car. So is it really that much different? The station wagon's just got a little more leg room for the people in back. And a little more cargo space in back. That's it.
I remember having a conversation with a group of guys, and I was asking them what their dream cars were. I swear to you, all of them had Kombis on their
No way. That's actually a pretty badass looking combi. You would not get punched here in America if that drove by. I wouldn't even know what that was.
list. I was like, y'all are young, y'all have no children. What the hell? Why are y'all picking grandpa cars? Why are you picking these automobiles on your wish list for cars to...
Once again, the coolest car here. Like a lot of kids want the hatchback, you know, not necessarily a Corolla, but, you know, a hatchback. So
I'm like, this makes no sense.
We're not so different, you and I.
Because in the United States, people make fun of station wagons. And in Germany, it's like, boah, geil, hast du mein Kombi gesehen? And I'm just like...
If you're thinking of taking the tribe cross country, this is the automobile you should be using, the Wagon Queen family truckster. You think you hate it now, but wait till you drive it.
But I feel like in Germany, station wagons are the most
National Lampoon classic movie.
efficient car They aren't as, how do you say, big and massive as a truck or SUV, but they can still fit a lot. A lot of them have all-wheel drive, so you can drive it in the winter through the snow. A lot of them just have, like I said, a lot of space.
Very
If you have children,
practical.
it's very nice, and you can transport a lot of things, you can tow a lot of things, and it's just a multifunctional car, you guys. It's something that can do everything. And there are also versions of a Kombi, of a station wagon in Germany, that are on the luxury sport wagon side. You have
Wagen.
things like the Audi RS6 Avant with
Oh, I think that's my dream car right now. I'm first looks. Wow.
the carbon optics, you guys, and the Nardo gray. Y'all,
I'll
that
take
is a
it.
sexy car. I do have to say that is a sexy car. Or you have the Porsche Sports Turismo, I think it's what it's called, Panamera. Panamera. I can never say. I always say Panorama.
That's no wagon.
Panamera Sports Turismo. Oh my lord. You have those types of station wagons, and you also have other versions as well. But you have ones that fit the niche of needing to go extremely fast and having the horsepower behind it and the power behind it to maybe keep up on the Autobahn with other types of sports cars. And I feel like there is a type of sports station wagon, not even a sports station, there is a station wagon for everyone, y'all, in Germany. And so I just think it's very interesting that a lot of people automatically assume that everyone loves sports cars here. Everyone drives sports
They love sports wagons. Got
cars
it.
here. And granted, I feel like that is maybe something that a lot of people strive for and a lot of people want, and a lot of people do drive it, but a lot of people want functionality, they want efficiency, and they want something that is an all-around decent car that will last a long time. And that's where a station wagon comes into play. And so yeah, those were all the points, the 4 points, you guys, of
Well, that was fun. It all kind of blended together. Like I didn't even realize we're on point number 4. Whatever. That was fun. I definitely didn't get ahead of her and try and guess anything. But hey, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Oktoberfest. I keep saying that. I'm gonna keep saying that till Oktoberfest is finished. Have a great day, guys. I hope to see you guys again here tomorrow. I'll be here. Hey, hopefully I'm not alone. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Bye.